Hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a shit one. So recently, Apple have now released the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro. So I picked one up and I'm actually really excited to go out and take some pictures with it. I actually have a bunch of notes here about the camera. It has a new LiDAR infrared depth scanner thing, new night portrait modes, has 7 elements in its new wide lens or the 26mm lens, has a new f1.6 aperture in its 26mm lens, has night mode on the ultra wide angle, the 13mm lens on the camera. It takes 9 samples per image. It has smart HDR. It has deep fusion imagery. It has a night mode time lapse, and it now films 4K 60 frames per second in 10-bit color. So there are a lot of new changes to the, not new changes, new updates rather, because the iPhone 11 was it. My dad just asked me if I want a hot dog. Sorry. Let's go get a fucking hot dog. Fuck this. Trying to make a YouTube video about iPhones and shit. I would like a hot dog, yes. I can't even remember what I was talking about, but it's not even important. We'll just go out and take some photos. We're gonna actually just take some photos of my car tonight. I haven't gone out and shot cars in ages, let alone my car, so I'm just gonna go photograph that tonight. But we're gonna go clean the wheels. I also have this. It's a phone mount for your tripod. I'm gonna leave this in the description of the video, because this is gonna come in really handy for tonight. There's a train line that runs right next to this spot, and I think it would be pretty cool if we get a train to come past and we put our iPhone onto our tripod and get a long exposure just basically of the car here with one of the trains going past. We've positioned the car so it's sort of in line with the buildings here. We have the Rialto towers at the back there. They're like the tall towers with the blue lights on it. Then we have a bunch of buildings in the background. So I think symmetrically, the photo works pretty well. And look, even there's a train going past right now. So with that, with a long exposure, will look really nice, I think. It just looks so stupid. I mean, just look at it. You can take photos on it now. I think that's like one of the most amazing things about mobile phones is that this thing is capable of taking long exposures and can teach me about photography. And when I'm done, I can go make a phone call to whoever, or go prank call Hayden or something, you know? I think that's amazing.
It just looks funny because usually we have our big, bulky Sony cameras, and now you just have a little phone on there, which can still do really good photos at night.
So the actual native camera app that comes with the phone, it doesn't actually allow you to change your settings. So I've downloaded a third-party app. It's just not sponsored and you don't have to download this app. There's heaps of different apps that do this, but I use ProCam, which is basically just a third-party app that you can download onto your phone or onto your iPhone that allows you to change the settings. Usually for car photos, I use the 3-photo system. I take a photo of the car with the lights off, with the long exposure for the shot that I want to get. And then I'll take a photo of the car with the lights on, but a very underexposed shot, just so I can expose properly for the headlights. I'm gonna merge those together in Photoshop. And then you can do this if you wanna be very professional about it, but you don't have to. You can also take a third exposure with the lights on. You can basically get the car's lights that the car shines onto the ground and just mask that into the shot as well, just to make it look really natural. So right now we're taking the lights off photo, and then we'll take an underexposed photo. Alright, we've just come to this spot in Chinatown. It's got this cool ring, like ring lights just up here, which look awesome. And I've just parked the car underneath it. And I've got Liam to put his foot on the brake just to show the brake lights off, because I think cars look great when they have the brake lights on and you're taking a picture. We're going to test out the ultra wide night angle. Night angle. What the fuck am I talking about? We're going to test out the night mode on the wide angle. Lady's just sort of, she's just in my shot. She just like walked into my shot and is just sitting there. I think she's drunk or high, or drunk and high, and she's just sitting there, and it's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna go tell her to leave because she's like in a public place, but it's kind of just like, fuck off, you know. Anyway, whatever. Friday night in the city, so that's just my fault for doing this tonight. I think Liam's tired, so we're just gonna go to another spot, finish it up there. I might get some close-ups of the car actually. Okay, last spot for the night. I actually like where the roller door is here at the moment. I know we shouldn't actually really be parking here, but it's quite late. I just like the simplicity of this building. It's like simplistic, it's minimal, but it's still complex in a way. I don't know, I just really like the architecture of this building, but also, I didn't even realize this when we actually came to this spot, but there's actually a pretty great city view here. So maybe if the car was parked also on the road here with the city in the background, that might not be a bad shot either. Oh yeah, I don't know if you've seen me doing this before, but I'm just cleaning the lens. It is so important and it makes the biggest difference. It doesn't matter what camera you're shooting on, but particularly the iPhones, because you're always sort of pressing on the cameras and lenses by accident with your sticky sort of fingers. It makes for so much of a better shot if your lens is clean. One really easy tip to remember with photography, if you want to get a nice angle, I think there is a massive difference between standing up and taking a photo and getting quite low to the ground and taking a photo. So just something to keep in mind if you're looking for some sort of like a bit more of a wow factor in a way. You're like, oh, you know, why do my photos just sort of look a bit trashy? What am I sort of doing wrong? Maybe just try getting a bit lower, or even try shooting through something. Photography, it doesn't even matter about your settings. Like we're going out tonight, I'm just literally pressing a button on my phone and we're getting bangers. You know, we're actually getting really cool photos because photography is all about your composition and your locations. So something to keep in mind. But that's the end of the shoot. We're gonna go home now. We're gonna jump in Lightroom. We're gonna go edit these photos. We're gonna see what we got tonight. I already, straight out of the camera, think that we have some really nice photos that we've taken tonight. So I'm really excited to see what happens if we put an edit on them. I just finished editing the photos that I like from the shoot. We'll start at the first location here. I don't really know how much I love this photo. I think the location was a little bit weird because there was quite a big angle on the ground, so I couldn't really park the car on a level surface. So it was really hard to try and position the car correctly. But this was the photo we ended up getting. Once I merged everything together, I guess I think it looks okay, but I think it's a bit messy. I think there's just too much going on in one image. But it doesn't matter because we got better photos at the next location anyway. Went to Chinatown, and this is a close-up shot I got of the wheel. I am extremely happy with this quality from the phone, to be honest. That's the thing we've got to remember about this whole photo shoot is I'm used to shooting on an A7R camera. So I have an R Mark IV, and that's something like 62 megapixels or something like that. So zooming in and cropping in is just not an issue. It doesn't matter how far away I shoot something, I can just crop it in and it'll be good quality, you know? And I think I'm a bit spoiled that way and have been used to that. So obviously I can't compare the two. The camera didn't really need to go into the night mode here because there was already quite a few lights around Chinatown. And I think most phones would be able to handle this. But that's the thing, it's like, it's a phone at the end of the day. And of course, we know that, we know it's a fucking phone. Let's just have a look at the other photos. I don't really love this shot. I think the phone tried to like do some sort of depth thing here, but it wasn't in portrait mode. It just did this, so I couldn't change the aperture. So it's very obvious where it sort of goes from the steering wheel to the center console here. You can, you know, quite clearly see that it's very artificial, and yet the window here is not out of focus, and the roof here, like it's definitely tried, and it looks okay, but again, I'm just comparing it to a camera, or I would shoot something like this on a 35mm, and those photos always turn out sick. So obviously with a phone, you're not gonna get the same amount of depth that you will with a camera and a proper lens. When you stand a bit further back and try some other photos like this one, I think it does a pretty exceptional job. And actually this was the original photo here, but there's like this skin clinic here that I didn't realize was there until I got home in editing, and there's all these faces there. So I just tried my best to like Photoshop it out by using these windows up here. I mean, now it's the only thing I can see because I just showed you what I did. But if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't be looking at it. This last location was the best location out of all of them, in my humble opinion. And just because of the simplicity of the whole location. I personally like this side angle the most. I think the colors worked really well, the composition worked really well, and I honestly don't think you could tell this has been shot with an iPhone. Only until you start zooming in up really close. But even still, like, I know it's not amazing quality, but still, like, it's a phone. It's something you send text messages on and take phone calls. That's what's the most amazing thing about this. And this image is actually fake. That's the original image, but I flipped it in Photoshop to make it very symmetrical. That's actually the original photo. I straightened it, chucked an edit on it, and then chucked it into Photoshop and flipped it. And cleaned up the road a little bit there. And then here's the last photo of the city. I edited this photo using my preset Golden Hour, which has been reappropriated as well for all the other photos. So if you want to get my Lightroom presets, there's a link down in the description there that'll take you to the website. I really love the composition of this image, and even there's a PlayStation PS5 ad going on in the background there. Sony always just has to find a way to get into my images. Even if this wasn't shot on a Sony, it's still got to find a way into my photos. I swear to God. They follow me around. Shit joke. Oh, I might just cut that out. Yeah, the only thing that was annoying me about this picture was this flag and light going on. So I literally just jumped into Photoshop here and just stretched the buildings across just to stretch out the flag and the light there. And I don't think it's that noticeable. You just have a really fat building here. iPhones never disappoint me. It is obviously the latest iPhone. They do come with a price tag on it. So, you know, you sort of have some expectation when you use expensive things for them to actually work out pretty good, which it has done. For something this small to be that kind of quality, and like I said, you use it for like your day-to-day life and stuff, is exceptional value. If you're not looking to get a camera, but you also need to upgrade your phone, the iPhone 12, even the iPhone 11, and even the iPhone 10 would do just fine, to be honest. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope I taught you something new in today's video. I learned a lot about the new iPhone 12. If you did like this video, leave a like down below or help me out by hitting subscribe. But with that all said and done, have a shit one, and I will see you in the next one. When you can just walk around. Fucking hell, so cooked. When you can just walk around your subject, it just helps. Oh, I'm gonna turn my car off. Welcome back to Fuck That Shit with Mike G. Tonight I'm your host.
Let's just fucking leave this spot.